In today's video, we're walking through the garden. Here we go. All right, here's what's happening. The porch is all in disarray because we're painting. We're doing it ourselves because we got a cost estimate. It was going to be between $5,000 and $6,000 for someone to paint our house. Now the paint and all the supplies are cost. We'll probably wind up by the end of it all. We had to buy a ladder. It'll probably be like $500. So it was going to be 10 times more. So we decided to do it ourselves. So I won't be saying much about the potted plants here other than they're all doing really well. And they'll be all set up again once we are done painting. On the side, we did get these new light fixtures to replace the ones that I'm thinking have been here since the house was built back in the 80s. They're small. We like that though. We like the look of them. We just wanted something that was kind of not intrusive. We still need to paint the trim, but that's the scoop on the front of our house. Not the front. We've only painted on the front. But anyway, so here's my garden that I put in a few weeks ago. Oh, I did plant these pots this week. This is new. And I did geraniums and, I can't remember. I think this is salvia, but I could be wrong. Someone can tell me if I'm incorrect. I thought this was a variety of salvia, but I might be wrong. And then I just got geraniums and these, I think this is called like bridal veil. And then I used more of my petunias. The geraniums are really good here because this is a very, very hot spot in the yard. So it gets a little bit of shade in the morning, but for the most part, it is just blazing hot on this side of the house most of the day. So I needed to get very heat tolerant plants. And so my garden that I put in, this is that silver mound stuff. I'm not sure, something might have been nibbling on it. The dianthus, the bunnies are not touching it. They are, however, seeming to enjoy the daisies. Unfortunately, that was a, kind of a shot in the dark. Like, let's see if I can do daisies and not have the bunnies destroy them. But apparently they must be tasty. That's what it looks like in process. Here's our tree. The blooms are finished. I think I showed you that last week. The little fruits are coming along. They look more like fruits this week compared to last week. The kids moved. Actually, let me pause the camera. I'll show you that first. Okay, so this is the project that I wanted to insert here. So the kids, I hired them because it was back-breaking work. So my hubby kind of supervised, but Molly and Gabe evened out this trench. So we get a lot of snow here in Minnesota, and in the winter time, it's hard to see the edge of the driveway, and you can put these stakes in the ground, but even when we do that, and the driveway gets kind of narrow in the winter because of the snow, all sorts of reasons. The long story short is that we created a trench with our tire, and it looked terrible. So Molly and Gabe evened up the trench. I'm drinking coffee, by the way. It says you can call me Queen Bee. Anyway, Gabe and Molly evened up the trench and then laid landscaping fabric and the landscaping border, and then they carted from the backyard loads and loads of stone from the back garden, and that enables me now to be able to put mulch in the back garden and plants because stones are very hard to dig in. So this is the bed that they've now created for me. I haven't done anything to it yet, and it's still kind of in process. We're still moving some stones, but eventually, within the next few weeks, I am going to put some plants in here and put some mulch and leave some of the stone because that's what's under the, under the deck. But I'll make some kind of border or something like I did in the other bed. That's like a border between the mulch and the stones. So that is the plan. And my hanging plant is outrageous. This is the best hanging plant I've ever bought. Honestly, I don't know why it's doing so well. Maybe it's really happy because it doesn't get the heat of the afternoon sun. That's the only thing I can think of. It gets morning sun, but not afternoon sun, because our afternoon sun is so hot. I mean, I'm sure y'all in Florida are laughing at me, but it's really hot. So that plant is doing super great. Coming over here, this is the shrub that the deer devoured. It's doing wonderfully. They did me a favor. It actually looks so much better than it has in years. This is the salvia. The bunnies seem to be leaving it alone. It is finally growing some flowers, some buds. I did move my irises, but I haven't really planted them yet because I'm not committed to this spot. I dug out a lily. Oh, I forgot to show you that. I'll show you again in the front when we're near the porch at the end. But I dug out a lily from here and I moved it to the front. And then I put those irises, because the bunnies were devouring them, here. I believe this is going to be a coneflower, but I'm not really sure. Again, I don't remember what that was. And this is the asters, which are really recovering nicely from the bunny damage. These are little yellow flowers. My friend gave those to me, so I don't know what they're called. I should look them up. I'll do that for next week. I'm going to do a video soon of planting my wash tub. So I've gotten my sweet alyssum finally. There's my bee balm. Something happened to it. Oh, and it's really dry. I gotta water it. I haven't watered today because we were painting all day and it rained last night. So I'll need to water everything today. It's not ideal to water at night, but sometimes that's just what happens. So here's my tub of petunias, looking great. There's that dianthus that came back. If you remember, that was in a pot when Molly and I did our plant with us. So I moved it to this pot, and so now, whoops, they're looking great. Have not moved my chandelier planter yet because I just really like it here and it seems to be very happy. We did get kind of torrential rain last night, and impatiens, you know, they're a little delicate, so they don't like that hard hitting rain, but they are filling in really nicely. And then we walk over here. This is the veggie garden. The strawberries are doing amazingly well. Let me open the gate. Take you in. Okay, so we're in the veggie garden. Look at these strawberries. They are looking terrific. I will have to tuck these back in behind the fencing so they're safe from the birds. There we go. Lots of strawberries. And I put in 2 cucumber plants and one got devoured by something. The other one is here. None of my veggies are looking great. My tomatoes already have spots. I honestly feel very frustrated about that. It looks like something, an insect maybe. Look at these holes. And they're turning yellow. I don't know if I brought them home from the garden center with a disease, but they certainly don't look very healthy. So I might just pull them out, and it's early enough to start fresh with some new plants from a different place and, you know, see what happens. I do have a very healthy tomato plant on my back deck, so I won't be without tomatoes. And then my zucchini is looking fantastic. It's doing really well. And I do have this tomato here. I've never done tomatoes on this side of the garden. I'm not going to touch it because I was just touching that other one. Don't want to transfer any pests. Oh, and these are zinnias. They will get very tall and give some color to the vegetable garden. So those are all zinnias along the outside. And then planting marigolds with tomatoes is supposed to be good for the marigolds. It protects them from the nematodes that are in the soil. But when something's eating your tomatoes from above, there's not much the marigolds can do. And this is a volunteer. This is lettuce that seeded itself from last year. I still am thinking about putting lettuce seeds in. I just haven't had the chance to do it, so maybe I won't. I don't know. You know, the weeks fly by. And the rhubarb looks fantastic too. It's huge. So we'll make strawberry rhubarb pie at some point. This is a little lilac bush that my friend gave to me. It was dying in her yard, and it has really made a comeback here in our yard, so I'm super pleased about that. I think she said it's a white lilac. The catmint is going nuts. It looks kind of like a weed, but at least it's pretty, and I think the bees like it. This actually is a weed. I need to pull that out. It comes back every year. I'm going to be planting hostas just to fill this area in a little bit. And then you can see I started to paint around all the mechanicals here on this side. Okay, we're here in the front now. Some updates to the front garden. I planted a little hosta here and another one over there. That one's doing fine. The bunnies keep pulling this one out of the ground. So apparently this one's very tasty. I'm thinking I'm just gonna get a little piece of fencing. Like, I have some chicken wire, maybe just use that just until it gets established, until it establishes its root system and they can't pull it out. Because every morning I come out here and I find the plant on the ground. I mean, the fact that it's still alive is amazing and talks to hosta's resiliency because it gets pulled out every night. So tomorrow I think I'm going to try to put a little fencing around it so that they can't get to it until it is, and then let it establish its root system, and then it should be okay. Because they're not even eating the whole thing. They're just pulling it out. It's so aggravating. And they're nibbling. You can see they're nibbling on some of the other hostas, but no major damage. They're just snacking, you know. And here's the other one. It's been a little snacked on, but they haven't pulled this one out of the ground. But you can see they snacked on it. Oh, and then I was going to show you guys, that's the new hosta that I planted. The other new hosta. I can't remember the name of this one. But this one I did put the tag in the ground with it. So let's see what this one is called. Shadowland, Coast to Coast. It's taller. I got it a taller one on purpose because I wanted it to kind of fountain over the other things that are here. And you can see it's hardy in zones 3 to 9, and we are zone 4A, I think, or B. I can't remember. So, and the bunnies haven't touched that one, probably because it's higher would be my guess. They're kind of lazy snackers, you know. They have been snacking on this one, snacking on that one. Then this is a coral bell that I got. I haven't decided where I'm going to plant it yet. I need to move. This is endless summer hydrangea. It's getting burnt from the sun. It's just too sunny over here. I don't know if that was a problem last year and I just didn't remember, but I need to move it. So I'm actually going to take that and move it back over to the other side where we just were, and then put something else there. I think I'm going to get a snowball bush hydrangea because those are very sun tolerant, and I think that would do better here because I just really want a hydrangea here, but it is a sunnier location. It gets some shade, but it does get a lot of sun in the afternoon, unfortunately. So that's why I also put So yellow hostas, or hostas with yellow in the leaves, are much more tolerant, and also white in the leaves are much more tolerant to sun than ones that are deep blue. So this one, even though it has blue on the leaves, with that yellow, it's more tolerant of sun. These bright green ones are tolerant to sun. The colors will change based on where you have it planted. So this is a June hosta, and if I had it in a shadier spot, more of the blue would show up on the leaves. Because I have it in a sunnier spot, more of the yellow shows up. So if you're ever looking for like a part sun location, I wouldn't plant a hosta in full sun. Although I have seen people with white and green, like Patriot hostas, I think it is, along their driveways, and it's blazing sun. So maybe it's fine, I don't know. But definitely look for leaves that either have yellow, white, or a brighter, a brighter color if you're looking to plant it in a sunnier location. So you could see this one over here is a very deep blue. Well, even though it's green, they call it a blue hosta. And so this would definitely get scorched if I had it on the other side of the garden. And then those are just some annuals I need to stick into some pots. The last thing I wanted to show you, I moved these lilies, this one here from the backyard where I showed you. And then this lily I moved from right over there because it was blocking the view of my hostas. I didn't like it. So I moved that here, and I'm getting a landscaping, like an evergreen tree that doesn't get very big, but is more like shaped, either one of the spiral ones or a weeping blue. Those also don't get very big. So I haven't found one yet, but that's what I'm going to put right here. And that is the garden this week. I hope you've enjoyed seeing it. I hope you have a lovely weekend and you get your hands dirty. And I'll see you on Monday for Monday Motivations. Until then, have a great day.